fire, 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 fire. Okay, let's watch the internet historian video. Boba. I gotta turn everything off. All right. We have been watching the Fancy series from Mr. Internet Historian. I can't wait to watch the second part. Too Fancy, Too Furious, Wine Edition. Do any of you guys drink wine? I have. Broke boy, no wine? Oh, I'd send you some wine. That'd be nice. Let me bring this over as well. Onto my other screen. I used to make dorm wine. Ooh, illegal dorm wine. Nice. All right, maybe he'll bring it up. Man, I'm still burping from the spicy ramen and milk, man. Okay, let's set off, chat. Dum dum dum.
Come here, little fella. I want to tell you a secret.
Hello.
I'm just like you.
Oh, really? I don't know.
We're both down here in the dirt. Mine just happens to be imported.
From Italy.
You are fighting in traffic, and I am fighting charges of trafficking. We're so similar. You're working a 9-to-5 job, and I am having to look at that.
I feel attacked.
We're both going through it. So don't hate me. I'm not the problem. It's the wine snobs. They're the ones that look down on you.
Okay.
And frankly, I don't blame him. No, he's learning. Listen,
how dare
let me
you?
pull you up by your bootstraps. What if I made you my little Pygmalion?
What's a Pygmalion? What the fuck?
Reference that you wouldn't get.
What? I don't know what a Pygmalion is. What the fuck?
You know what? Perhaps I shall make a series of videos that will give you some sort of clue about fancy things. Yes, that's what I'll do.
Yes, fancy.
Something to give you just enough information to bluff your way through a fancy dinner.
Did you know that Da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa?
Somebody had to hold open the gates for the barbarians. Why not me? So let's do it. Let's look at wine.
Okay.
The Mountain Dew of upper society. With wine, there is only one rule. Kill or be killed.
What does wine got to do with murder, man? I just like white wine.
And if you want to survive the night, here are 6 things you should know about wine.
Okay, I'm listening.
To you muggles, the words on these bottles must seem
Pinot
like a
Noir.
mystery.
Pie not no ire?
But us landlords, we, the pink
Merlot,
Himalayan
Shiraz,
salt of the earth,
Chardonnay,
we know
Rosé,
what
Syrah, Sauvignon Blanc.
they are grape names. Look upon this grapevine. It makes grape berries. Now, there are many different species of grape berry.
Ooh,
And
they
whatever the
look so
berry
plump and
species is
juicy.
will determine the type of wine. This is Chardonnay, so it will make Chardonnay. Merlot grapes, they make Merlot wine.
I've actually tasted Merlot grapes. I am very fancy schmancy.
Grape names are mostly French. Gross. But for example, in English, Pinot Noir means black pine, because it kinda looks like a black pine cone if you squint.
Okay,
Here's some of
whatever
the
you
other names.
say.
You can pause it. I'm
Grey Pine, Pinot Grigio, Sauvignon Blanc Wild White. Yes, I like Sauvignon Blanc. Cabernet Sauvignon Wild Cabernet, Black Grapevine. Merlot essentially means little black bird. Syrah, sort of complicated, named after a city in present-day Iran. Chardonnay, named after a village called Chardonnay. Yes, I knew that. I am very fancy.
busy.
Yes, shit.
Wine grapes are not like the kind you get at the supermarket.
No.
Those are table grapes. You can think of it kind of like the
taste
difference
different.
between cooking chocolate and regular chocolate.
Yes.
You can eat them.
They just don't taste great.
But they're overly sugary and kind of full of seeds and just not as nice to snack on. So the grape
Yes.
type is the main word on the bottle, but sometimes there are other words as well. For example, this Bourgogne. What the
Bourgogne?
hell is a Chablis? It's all regions. Allow me to explain. Through the
Damn,
medium
we're learning a lot,
of
huh?
song. There's Chianti bonnet. Also, there's Burgundy. Don't forget Chablis Bordeaux. This one's from Italy. This one's from Italy. This one's from France. This one's from France. This one's from France. This one's from France.
Oh, come on!
They're all from France. We're Italy.
No shit.
Look, the general rule is, if you see a term you don't understand, it's probably just the
Cop
French or the
out.
Italians being all la-dee-da about their particular region. All right, let's move on to price. Come on, I know a place. Ah, we're here. I can tell by the name on the sign.
Liqueur.
Don't embarrass me, I didn't bring my ID. Fiddle-tee-dee, look at all these bottles.
I think
So
you'll pass.
many
You'll be
options.
fine.
Ooh, a cheeky $200 bottle.
Holy
And
shit!
here, a $20 bottle. Now, I bet this $200 bottle tastes way better, right? Like it's got to be 10 times better than this one. That's just basic math. Go on, though. You choose one. Oh, no. Well, it was supposed to be a trick question, but they both taste pretty similar, right? There's not some...
No, that's untrue. There is a difference. I don't know, man. I've had really bad, like, not bad wine, but like cheap wine, and it does taste different. It does. It does matter.
threshold that you get to where it gets more expensive, and then it tastes better, and then more expensive again, and it tastes even better, until it gets so expensive and so incredible that it's like nothing you've ever had before. Break through the conditioning. This is just old grape juice. Now, if you're a little
Fermented grape
bi-curious
juice.
about a more expensive bottle, sure, why not?
Gold letters grace the label, hand engraved by goldsmiths. Famed wine critics described the taste as mind-boggling.
But realistically, after about $60, the flavor doesn't get much better. In fact, it plateaus out and it can even go down. The best quality to price ratio is all the way over here, much lower, about $20.
Yeah, $20 to $40 is the sweet spot. It's true. It's true. I say I have had wine that was $10 and it was tasted like ass, so I will concede to that. Oh, what the hell's going on? Oops. Hold on. There we go.
That's
Sorry.
how much you should spend on a bottle of wine. Now,
Port wine?
some
I don't
people
remember.
will
I was in
say-
college.
That I'm putting my heart and soul into this thing. I'm making an art, a form of art.
Lady,
much is that
relax.
worth?
It's
How much is art
wine.
about $20. Ah, but what about the Vintage?
Vintage.
Whoa, look at this. A couple of cromulent slender necks. And they're the same price as well. But this one is from 2019, and this one is from 2022. Well, surely the older one is the better one, right? No. Many people think that the wine aging goes like this, and the flavor just keeps getting better over time.
I thought.
wrong.
What?
The wine at the store has already been aged at the winery. I don't need to be more aged by sitting on this shelf and just collecting dust, or spending years at the back of your pantry at home. If I'm for sale, I'm ready to be consumed. I'm ready to have your hot lips wrapped around.
Excuse me.
In fact-
I do not wrap my lips around a fucking wine bottle. Thank you very much.
The general rule goes, a corked bottle should be drunk within 5 years, and a capped bottle within 1 year. Come, there's more. Let's pretend I am a waiter at a restaurant. You happen to be wearing a shirt, and so I have mistaken you as a paying customer. As a waiter, the first thing I will press you about will be food pairings. White wine with fish? A Merlot with pork? Well, kid, I'm gonna have to pair this truth nugget with something you don't want to hear.
Oh no!
The food pairing doesn't really matter. It's
No shot. Come on. No, there's no truth bombing in this video. This is all lies. It matters. It
all
matters.
completely subjective. It's cuisine by horoscope. It's food astrology.
What?
Pay no attention to the sommeliers in the comment section. They are bullshitting to upsell.
Get the more expensive one. It goes better with the spaghetti.
Or they are a Pisces and you shouldn't trust their opinion anyway. Something else to expect at a restaurant? Expect to get ripped off by the markup. Most
Yeah.
restaurants add a 250 to 300% markup on their wine. And the cheaper the bottle, the higher the proportional markup tends to be.
I think I bought a glass of Sauvignon Blanc about a year or two ago at a restaurant, and it was fucking $6. And it's $6. It's not like, you know, you get like a glass. It's a wine glass that's like 3/4 of the way full, by the way. $6.
So a $20 bottle will turn into an $80 bottle, but a $100 bottle may only rise to $150. Most people get the second cheapest bottle on the menu, regardless of the pairing, and that'll do just fine. And that's it. No more tips. Unless you want to leave me one. Huh? Actually, you know what? I got a fucking tip for you, mate. Ad time. I bet you're wondering how I got this cog in my knee.
Incogni!
That's because I became the face of Incogni, the service that helps you be forgotten on the internet. I used to be a humble florist.
Wow.
One day we received a shipment of forget-me-nots. But inexplicably I fell in
Ads.
and ate a bunch of them. I forgot everything that day. My address, my web browsing habits, where I worked, what my child's face looked like. I was supposed to pick her up from daycare, so that was kind of embarrassing. I just picked one of the kids that kind of looks like me.
Oui, monsieur.
Close enough. Have you ever signed up for some dodgy website? Have you ever dodged up for a legitimate website and they sell all your details onto a dodgy website? That's where I come in. Incogni man. And anonymous.
Incogni man, save us!
There are data miners out there, data collectors, creating big servers all around the world. They take your name, your address, and your IP, and together they make a big profile, and that lives forever. I am here to send them annoying legal notices to tell them to fuck off. Take Steve off your database. European law this, American law that.
Yeah.
Go to incogni.com/internet store to get 60% off an annual plan. The cog signal.
Coggers in the chat. Coggers, come on.
Legal
Give some
notice.
support to Mr.
Tangle up the processes
Incogni.
with admin. Who are
Wait,
you?
Coggers.
I don't know.
There it is. Coggers in the chat.
Oh, wait a minute. Incogni nam. Go to incogni.com/internet historian.
And over.
Incogni man. Remember me?
VPN man.
Yes. No. Who's the kid? Whoa, that's a good deal. Ad over.
And over.
Welcome to the Wine Underground.
Hello.
We have our meetings here because it stays at a very pleasant temperature. You know, us
fancy.
winemasons, we control everything. We are few, but many. That doesn't make sense. Look at the back of this bottle. See the No Fat Chicks logo? We put that there. It is the symbol of our organization. We have a dirty finger
Wait,
in every glass.
that's not the Fat Chicks logo. That's the pregnancy logo. What do you mean?
Glass of government and corporation stuff. If you cross us,
Internet historian hates
perhaps you'll have a
Wham.
little accident. Last year, Little Upstart tried to make wine actually taste good. You know, like how grape soda does. Cut him up so good he had to get stitches. We caught one reporter trying to dig around into our operations. We all know how that one ended.
No, I'm just gonna
With
fall.
an airstrike. All right, my little juice box. I'm going to let you in on a secret. Why is champagne called champagne? Well, I'll
Champagne.
tell you. It all began in 1668. In the Abbey of St. Peter in northeast France, there's something spooky going on. It's springtime, and in the cellar where they keep all the wine, bottles would suddenly, unexpectedly,
Disappear.
explode.
No!
Now, this was especially common during
God
morning
did
mass.
that.
Ho ho, that's a bad omen. Sometimes the explosions would cause little chain reactions, and bottle after bottle would break down the line, ruining the majority of the crop.
No!
The peasants were frightened and also parched.
Sacre bleu, les wine. What is happening?
The monks would refer to this
Sacre
as
bleu.
the devil's wine.
Les wine is cursed.
Le God, he must be anger at us. We need a hero.
In walks Dom Perignon. He is just the man for the job. A Benedictine monk at the abbey. He's got a new role, the cellar master. And it's his mission to find out what the hell is going on here.
Okay, he's
So
gonna do
Dom
some
starts looking
science.
at all the bottles. And what he figures out pretty quickly is that the wine itself is releasing gas. The gas builds up pressure and... why that is happening, he doesn't know. But it's his job to stop it.
find out.
So he gets to work, trying all sorts of things to stop his mortal enemy. The bubbles. In the first year, he tried insisting that only the youngest grapes be picked.
Perhaps this will stop your bubbles.
And
I don't. Just to like put this out there, I don't know what it could be. Genuinely, I don't know why it would be called champagne. Because
the
of the
next year, he
popping.
changed up how the grapes were pressed.
Push harder. We'll squeeze out the bubbles.
Son of a bitch. He
Squeeze
tried
out
picking
the
the grapes
bottles.
very early in the morning and no other time. Nope. And on and on. The bubbles would win the battle every year. For 8 long years, he tried all sorts of different things,
Oh god, not the nipple clamps!
and no strategy worked. No, the bubbles. Eventually, he was at the point of almost giving up. Until one day, hey, what if the wine is still fermenting? So he takes a couple of the bottles and he
region?
opens them and... it is. We ferment the wine. Once it's done, it goes into the bottle. How does it then start fermenting again? How is that possible? And here the mystery was solved. So it turns out, in North France, they have very fast changing seasons. And owing to that, the yeast doesn't actually get time to do its job. Instead, it would get cold very quickly in the winter, and all the yeast would go dormant. Then the wine...
Oh, and then the summer gets warmer and then explodes again. The bubbles! How do you get rid of the bubbles in the champagne?
winemakers would go, oh, brilliant, fermentation slowed down, it must be done. They would then bottle it, and they would store it. But once summer came back around, the process would spring back to life, and carbon dioxide would build up, and... Okay, he thinks, I cannot change the climate. Perhaps I shall not win the war against the bubbles.
Le
Now,
buble.
the bubbles are his enemy, and he has another enemy. The English. Therefore, the enemy of his enemy or something. Anyway, he starts talking to the English, and he goes, hey, how do you guys stop your bottles from exploding? And the British go,
You what, mate? Core! We'll peep at how thin the bloody glass be in it. Thin glass is the problem. Thank you for using this text-to-speech preview. For a paid version, please go...
see, the English have created new, cold...
He included the fucking trial.
fired bottles with much thicker glass.
Oh, that's so
then
good,
they put
dude.
a cork in the top, and it allows them to make very foamy beer. That's right. He could just use thicker bottles, and he won't have to worry about stopping the bubbles.
Oh, that's why champagne bottles are so fat. Oh my god, this actually makes sense. Yeah, I've grabbed a champagne bottle. They're way heavier than wine bottles.
At all. So Dom goes running back to France. He's panting, he's sweating, and there's bits of brie on his shirt. He's going, better bottles, better bottles. Everyone's confused and terrified, but they give it a shot. And there it was. The people of France loved it.
I love this new style.
Even the French royals
Allez,
were enjoying the
champagne.
new wine, TM. He even started adding extra yeast and sugar to really get the bubbles going. And so Dom Perignon had created what we call
Dom
today
Perignon.
champagne. Now, there's a 19th
Champagne.
century marketing campaign that says the moment he uncorked his champagne for the first time, he tried it and said, come quickly, I am tasting the stars. But that's actually a myth. He never really said that. But there's still a problem. And this one, Dom cannot fix. The pulp. If you bottle wine while it's still fermenting, so that you can keep the bubbles in, you're also trapping in a bunch of dead yeast and debris and gross particles too. Also, it's all cloudy. No, we want it clear. We want it crystal looking. How will we
Okay.
ever solve this problem? Dom
Pineapple.
dies.
No! No!
1805. In walks Madame Clicquot. She's just the man for the job.
I'm also French. I have come to remove all the little bits. I will clench my teeth together and go pitu back into the bottle.
Now, Madame Clicquot was
gross.
a very shrewd lady. Her husband died when she was in her early 20s,
My husband is dead. Lol.
and part of the estate she was bequeathed included a winery. She immediately got to work, making it into a successful business.
I shall invent a process
Smart
called
woman.
lay riddling.
Here's what you do, right? You put
Okay.
these bottles on a rack at a 35-degree angle with the top facing down. Every 2 days, she would give the bottle a little shake and slightly increase the angle. After 8 to 10 weeks, all of the sediment would come to rest in the neck of the bottle. All right, quick tangent. Did you know that when you increase the salt concentration in water, you can drop its temperature down much lower without it freezing? Tangent
Okay.
over. So she takes this sub-zero salt water and dips the neck of the bottle in there. Then lets it sit until the neck freezes. Now you have a sort of frozen cork filled with all of the gross pulp, and then you simply pop off the top.
Pop it off.
And the whole thing goes shooting out as a fun prank for your friends and family. Then they add in a little more extra base wine and sugar and leave it to age. And with that, Clicquot has just created a clear, sparkling wine. And
What the fuck? That's
is
so
riddled.
smart.
And Madame
Yo, that's actually smart as fuck, man.
Clicquot is...
The Riddler.
The Riddler.
So Dom Perignon and Madame Clicquot are both credited as the godfather and godmother of champagne.
Oh, champagne.
Today, the Dom and Clique brands are owned by LVMH, the same parent company that owns Louis Vuitton, Tag Heuer, Tiffany
What
&
the
Co.
fuck?
Hennessy. Actually,
What?
pretty much every luxury brand. But
What the fuck? What?
actually,
They
pretty
own
much every luxury
Hennessy too? What? Holy shit, Hermes, LV, Gavidia. Oh my god, man. They like own everything. Yeah, every luxury brand.
But
Christian
why is
Dior?
it called champagne?
Big corporate, yep.
Well, that's because it comes from the Champagne region, you dummy. And anything else with
Ah!
bubbles is just sparkling wine.
You can't legally name that, yep. Capitalism is.
Oh,
It's fricked
it's
up.
you. I was just looking out over the sunset. You know how it
Hello.
is. Thinking about stuff that happened in the past. I remember it all too well. It was literally 1984.
Man, you're old, mister.
I was walking home with my parents from the opera.
Come on, keep up. We're near.
Oh no!
Hey,
Batman, no!
Let's take a little shortcut, they said.
We can cut through here.
We were
Internet
walking
historian
down a
is
well-lit
Batman?
alleyway. It was nothing but quaint restaurants and bistros. Then suddenly, a man holding a bottle of Shiraz came out of nowhere. "Just a tipple," he said. I was terrified. I knew nothing about wine. "Go
He has no
on,"
beard.
he said. My hands were shaking, knees weak, arms heavy. Complex aroma, wouldn't you say? Very good tannins. Oh, really? Yep. What's a tannin? I don't know. My parents died from embarrassment right there on the spot.
Oh, that's what my parents did too. They died of embarrassment because they found out I was a VTuber.
It's too late for me, but I don't want the same thing to happen to you. That's why we have to learn about
Tannin.
how to serve wine.
Okay.
So you've bought a bottle of wine to show your friends and family how successful and sophisticated you are. Did you know that Da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa? So let's go through how
Dan
to
Vinci.
serve the big three. White, red, and champagne. Let's say you've bought champagne.
Champagne. Right in the
That
balls.
bottle
Aw.
goes in the fridge. Champagne is served cold always.
Yeah, it has to be
open,
cold.
peel off the foil and do not aim it at your face.
No!
Then twist off the metal thing. If you want people to think you're fancy, use the proper word, muselet.
Muselet.
It helps to contain the pressure. Again, Don't aim this thing at your face. It's really worth repeating. The PSI inside a champagne bottle is 70 to 90. That puts it in the same league as a nail gun. So the cork comes out at about 50 miles an hour. And if you're in a house, you want to hold onto it very firmly with your hand. If you're Bezos, or you just won the Grand Prix, fling it over some ladies. But if you want to be really fancy, you can use a sword. This has been a tradition for...
Fun fact, my dad knows how to do this. He has a saber he bought at a garage sale from a Spanish neighbor, and he bought it, and he knows how to do this properly. Like, he's never gotten himself hurt or anything, but he can do the saber thing, yep. Yeah, it's cool as fuck, yeah. It's cool. He's never gotten himself hurt, thankfully, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
For a couple hundred years, popularized by Napoleon.
Yeah.
After each victory, the army would use their sabers to crack one open for the boys. But the sword's just ceremonial. You can use pretty much any blunt object to knock off the top.
Maybe not a phone.
A shoe. This fish head. If it's cold, it shouldn't fizz over too much. But you might want to have someone on the side with a ready glass.
Yes.
The glass type should either be a tulip or a flute. Although, if you've seen The Great Gatsby, you may notice that they use these. Up until the mid-1900s, people used coupes. That's because, back in the day, excessive effervescence wasn't very cool. So these cups helped actually dispel the bubbles faster. In fact, sometimes they'd even use a small whisk or a fork to dissipate all the bubbles.
What the fuck? You want it to be fizzy. This is so cringe. This hurts me physically.
Now, there's actually an old myth that the shape and size of the coupe was molded from one of Marie Antoinette's buboes.
Yo, what? The booba glass. Let's get some big booba. Okay.
But it's probably not true.
A boba. Yeah, that's right. A boba.
Eventually, bubbles became a fancy feature, so the flute was adopted.
Yep,
they can be made from glass, but preferably they're made from crystal, so that they shimmer as much as possible. And the best flutes would also feature a small rough spot right there at the center of the glass at the bottom to create a sort of tornado of bubbles. Anyway, as you pour, tilt sideways so it isn't all head, and don't pour more than 2/3 full. Done.
Never fill it. Never fill it full. My favorite!
White wine is best served chilled too. 10 to 15 degrees though, not fridge cold. Use a small glass bowl and pour to about half full. And when you drink, do a little sniff test and, aerate it a bit. Then hold it down low on the stem so your hands don't heat up the liquid.
Don't warm it up.
If it's not to your taste, cut it with 50% Sprite and add a few ice cubes.
Don't do that. That's horrible.
Reds. Red wine is not chilled. It is served at room temperature. When you first open it, you're supposed to let it sit for a while to oxidize. That gives it more flavor.
My parents like red wine, so it's true.
Into a decanter.
They have a decanter at my parents' house. They have a decanter at my parents' house. Yep. They didn't want to wait, so they want to get drunk faster.
The same thing. To drink from, we want a big bowl on a stick, so you get a full face of the aromas of the grape blood. When you pour the thing,
no, you're not
fill
supposed
it about
to.
1/3 full. That's pretty much it. However, when it comes to wine snobbery, red wine snobbery is at the top of the Maslow hierarchy.
Crushed white rock. It's like almost like a rock quarry.
Oh my god, shut up.
Oh my
and there's
god,
a taste testing
shut your
thing that people do.
mouth.
They all go a bit mental, and it's kind of gross, and it looks dumb. But if you think...
Yeah, and they have to spit in a bucket, too, by the way. Like that.
You're ready? Ready for the ultimate test? Ready to take the one-chip challenge of enology?
Enology?
Then here's how you do it. When the waiter comes over, insist on taking a teensy sample. Inspect for color, clarity, and legs. Legs refers to how viscous the wine is.
Legs?
Smell it.
That's what legs is? I did not know that. I did not know that.
Smells like a red
legs.
wine. Swirl it around on the table, making a loud scratching noise, so that everyone knows you're a connoisseur.
Connoisseur.
It's almost like turning up the volume on the stereo.
When you taste it, you're supposed to get it over every part of your mouth, so that when you brush your teeth later, it's awful. Then take in big sips of air. This is where you comment on the texture and taste. Complex notes! You yell across the room. Now this is the best part. You can just make shit up about vanilla smatterings or citrusy undercurrents. I swear, there's a hint of blueberry. It's one of those things that's kinda true, but subjective enough that no one can really refute you. So make a big show of it.
There is a...
I mean, it's kind of like art. Like, you see what you want to see. There's good wine, but again, it's all subjective.
little bit of an earthiness, almost a graphite clay note to this.
It's a little bit meaty. It's a little bit sort of
meaty,
rustic.
There are definitely hints here
guy,
of
come on,
Monster
you can't
Ultra
have meat in
sugar-free.
your wine. Come on,
If this is a
meaty.
taste test and you're sampling dozens of wines, you want to spit out the sample into this gross bucket so you don't get too drunk. Do not ask the waiter if you can drink from the bucket. It's
That's
the waiter's
disgusting.
privilege, and he's very protective of it. And that is how to serve wine. Okay, that's a lot of shitting on wine, people.
And we shouldn't get bullied.
Yeah, you should.
But let me do a quick 180. Because
whoa,
overall,
holy shit, that was a
wine
180.
is good. And a little wine snobbery can be good also. Being into wine is one of the great dad hobbies. One day you will have a model train set in your basement, complete with a little walking path in the grass just right. The best part about this hobby is building the thing, getting it just perfect, and then making people sit there while you explain the little trains in excruciating detail of how they work. The fun of Warhammer.
This is what my dad does, by the way. He collects army figurines from the World War I series, and every time he gets a new one, he sits my mom and I down. He's like, look at this. This is really nice. I got this for $20. He gets one figurine a week. One figurine a week, he gets it mailed to his house. And then he talks about it. He's like, this one is a very special one. And then he puts it in his little special shelf. You know,
that's when you save
very
up
wholesome,
for the little
he's very
Space
wholesome.
Marine man. You take him out of the packet. You put on a podcast with some Warhammer.
Warhammer is like a generation version of that. Yeah!
Horus is the
It
best.
is, yeah.
And you slowly paint it yourself. And then you argue with your mates later about why the necrophiles are the best race. There are people that spend like tens of thousands of dollars on coffee machines and equipment. And then it takes like an hour to make a coffee. And it's like only 5% better, maybe, than the ones you get at the cafe. Now, I could be Mr. Killjoy and come in and go, what's the point of that? Why not just buy it from the cafe? Why not just get a pre-painted Space Marine? Why not have someone else just install the train set? But then there's no ceremony, there's no fun, there's no hobby.
Yeah.
Wine is very similar. They're getting a little bit too obsessive about the thing. And being like...
Some lemon zest as well, lemon pith.
I thought she...
super tangy.
I thought she was gonna say lemon piss. I'm not gonna lie. Am I crazy? I thought she was gonna say it. Lemon piss.
Is the purpose of wine. It's the fun of wine. Which is why wine is better
tasty
than
piss.
just some old grape juice. And you fucking wine loser snobs, you know what? You're all right.
Aw, that was wholesome.
And that's about it. There's just one last thing left.
Piss.
The practical.
Massive piss.
Come on, my little nouveau biche. I booked out a whole restaurant. They serve some of the best blue whale caviar here.
Blue whale
All right, you
caviar.
did it.
Wait a minute.
You sat
Blue
through the
whales.
whole
Wait, blue
video
whales
without
can't have
crying.
caviar. This
I
guy's
think this
cooked.
calls for a toast.
Oh shit!
Steady now. Whoop.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I can't believe you killed again. But it's okay. I feel like we're becoming close friends who can keep secrets and stuff. And because we're such close friends, I'm gonna keep teaching you things. That's right. You're gonna be just like me.
I don't want to. You're
I just
scary.
cannot tell which of this is blood and what's wine. By the way, this is the second video. If you haven't seen the first one, which is on Fancy at the Theatre, go
That
look
was
at
great.
over here.
That was
But
great.
There's also Fancy,
Great video.
the arts on Incognito. That's
I've
already
seen
live,
that
and
too.
there's
Yes,
the next
yes, very
Incognito
nice.
on its way. Do not forget story mode. Do not forget Incogni, and do not forget
Coggers.
to dream.
Well, that was a great video. Thank you so much. Thank you. Very nice, very nice. Clappers, 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 clappers. Clappers and coggers in the chat. Yes, yes, yes. Mommy. Piss, piss, piss. Shit. Piss, 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 piss. Fuck, 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 fuck. Fucking shit on calm. Piss myself. Fuck, 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 fuck. Piss, fuck, piss, 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 fuck, fuck, piss, fuck, piss, fuck, piss, 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 fuck, piss.